police. They might be able to do something.
The police might as well call customer service for all the good that'll be.
Wow.
We've got to tell the police. They might be able to do something.
They made Jake Sisko look like bad taco night.
We've got to tell the police.
Is that
They might
flavor
be able to do
text?
something.
No one can stop the content train. It's destroyed homes and families and has no sign of stopping now.
I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night.
We listened to Otto's monologue about Dreamwalker Chakotay from dusk till dawn.
I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night.
We each take 1 hour of skirmishing for Otto in exchange for a lovely Latvian gift basket.
Sounds like a nice
No take
evening.
I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night.
We can double our crew for $5.
I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night.
If we don't make eye contact, it's not fair.
I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night.
You can sleep on any furniture in the house, but do not remove the cloth from the Chakotay portrait in the master bedroom.
I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night.
If someone can go a round of what the dub without a Dreamwalker, QA, or Ben joke, we all win $1 trillion. Keep your heads in the game.
Round's over. Let's vote.
Oh my word.
I'm voting for the Latvian gift basket. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Welcome to What the Dub. The rules are simple. Each round, a video will play with
try and make this
missing
as Star Trek as
dialogue.
possible if you
Each
can.
player enters their wittiest replacement dub. Players watch the dubs and vote on the best one. The player with the highest score at the end of the game wins. It's just that easy.
Okay. And chat, you'll get a thing to vote on soon.
Round one.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Dreamwalker Chakotay, why?
Low-hanging fruit.
Extremely low hanging.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
What? I thought Otto took all his sedatives before the show tonight.
Are we just gonna dunk on me the rest of the show?
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
The only thing that would me to sleep is Dreamwalker Chakotay's stats.
Monsieur, let me introduce Professor Alexander Saxton.
Please, Saxton was my grandfather. Call me Sax Hot, all of my Starfleet Academy graduates do.
Monsieur, let me introduce Professor Alexander Saxton.
No thank you, I've already cited Captain Saxton.
Monsieur, let me introduce Professor Alexander Saxton.
He is best known for playing Wesley Crusher on the hit show Star Trek Voyager.
What was that?
He's summoning the Mugado. Damn it, Kirk, put on this deerskin.
What was that?
It's the updated flavor text for Sato.
What was that?
Idol's just talking about his spreadsheets again.
When they play it back.
the meaning of the inscription on this metal piece?
It's an ancient incantation. It reads, Mo tribbles, mo problems. Mo problems, mo QA gaps, mo timelines talks. You should throw this in the trash.
I wonder who had that really long one.
Meaning of the inscription on this metal piece?
Cute furry tribbles give Hoshi only evoke feelings affection.
Too easy! Too easy!
Metal piece.
Come on.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
120 crons, a voyage token, and a thanks for surviving lockdown.
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
Six-pack remorse, a really bad case of venereal disease, and crocheted pictures of Captain Idol.
For Captain
When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else.
The answer to the mystery of where Tribble Sulu's middle finger is hiding.
Gentlemen, I will give you a guarantee.
Buy this Chekhov and we'll release an even worse crew with a superficial collection trait in the future.
Gentlemen, I will give you a guarantee.
If this event crew is still bad in 4 years, I'll give you a new one free of charge.
Gentlemen, I will give you a guarantee.
I guarantee you that Adira's art will never, ever, change, and that reunion stock and pork will never be available in a 6-pack.
I'm quite excited because I want to see what people are coming up with.
Oh, I don't know why I'm so crazy about you.
Oh, yes, you do.
It's my Ophidian cane and how I use it to transport between time and space.
I don't know why I'm so crazy about you.
Oh, yes, you do.
It's the Eng Med. It drives all the void nerds wild.
Oh, I don't know why I'm so crazy about you.
Oh, yes, you do.
I have great art and I'm a Chakotay variant. Just forget about those stats.
I don't know why I'm so crazy about you.
Oh, yes, you do.
I just hit a natural 12-hour voyage, baby.
Oh, I don't know why I'm so crazy about you.
Oh, yes, you do.
I'm Tom. You called me Nick Locarno in bed.
Oh, I don't know why I'm so crazy about
He is a maverick.
Oh, yes, you do.
It's my massive evasion bonus.
Well, I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing.
As soon as this event is over, you're going back in cryo.
Well, I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing.
If you think I'm gonna buy Captain Tribble to finish that damn collection, you got another thing coming.
Well, I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing.
That pointing collection is going to be on every day now.
I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing.
I'll die before I take Dreamwalker Chakotay on a voyage.
Well, I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing.
I want really good mega crew in the next one.
Well, I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing.
You give me one more fucking CMD, dip, suck, and you'll be sucking dilithium crystals to a straw.
Or, yeah. Alright, here we go.
What's happening now?
The pyro didn't go off. We cut the budget to make sure Shanter got his girdle.
What's happening now?
He just went in search of another QA manager. I don't think he's coming back. Anyhow, how's that Sato flavor text going?
Oh my god. Sorry, I'll try and stop laughing over the text.
What's happening now?
He got banned for 72 hours.
What's happening now?
Transporter Chief Murderer Rand is at it again.
What's happening now?
Chekhov will rise again from those ashes as the #1 Voyager.
Optimistic.
What's happening now?
Everyone is turning in their super rares. Enjoy 1,504.
We'll be the
Why
judge.
do you treat me like this when you know how I feel about you?
Because you're just a dumb, stupid video game addict. It's either this or StarCraft, you loser. Suck it up.
Why do
Hey,
you
I like
treat me like this
StarCraft.
when you know how I feel about you?
Good God, woman, I'm Voyage rank 265. You can do better.
Why do you treat me like this when you know how I feel about you?
I heard you've been using the Captain Proton ship in Arena, before it was cool.
Why do you treat me like this when you know how I feel about you?
Because I know you'll keep pulling on Tuesday packs no matter what I put in there. You know what's coming up next? A 2-skiller, CMD, med. 3 asterisk.
3 asterisks.
Why do you treat me like this?
3
You
asterisks.
know how I feel about you.
Tribble emotes.
Why do you treat me like this? When you know how I feel about you.
For the last time, you don't have a collection, you have a skin condition.
Everyone's a critic.
How did you know?
That's all I need.
Folks, it's going to be all dick jokes from here on out.
I appreciate the honesty.
8 to 10 seconds, that's all I need.
That first to max on blue balls Wesley will be mine.
But you won't go along with that. 8 to 10 seconds, that's all I need.
If WRG's servers worked at the start of an event, that's all the time I need to get my kickstart done.
But you won't go along with that. 8 to 10 seconds, that's all I need.
Cute furry tribbles did Hoshi only evoke feelings affection.
You will go along with that.
That's all I need.
Are you talking about your ship ability or last night's date?
But you won't go along with that. 8 to 10 seconds, that's all I need.
I'm Wesley Crusher and you're Robin Leffer. You're pretty.
But you won't go along with it.
I have shaved the mutate.
That's meant to be Mugasu.
Yes, I am.
Oh, right.
Shit. Mutate.
Worf is on his way. Prepare stars orifices.
Yes, I understand.
Orifices?
That's clean, right?
Yes.
Captain Janeway tells me I'm special just the way I am.
Ruined it for you already before we even started watching the episode. So.
Well, I'm taking this live now. Hello, everybody. Hello. Biggs here.
Hello,
Dan's here.
hello.
I'm now just
Hi.
quickly adjusting our layouts because this is a brand new layout for the stream.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. It's Stars and Girders. Wow, that's been a while since I heard that phrase. Wow.
Yeah, because usually only Auto says that. I don't
I
usually say
know.
it.
Wow. How is everyone this fine evening? I hear it's hot as hell in America.
Yeah, yes.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a
talk to Big
fantastic
about
time
that.
to. It's a fantastic time to not have air conditioning in my house.
Oh.
But I'm here anyway.
Well, if you
Don't
see
worry.
Big,
This
if you see Big sweating bullets, it's not because he can't think of something to say. So
this little guy is going to do a lot of heavy lifting this episode. So
Don't worry.
Oh, you
it's like
brought your
heat
fans with
delirium.
Hey.
Hey, there you go. If the heat delirium sets in, don't worry. It can only make the TNG season 1 episode better.
well, I'm hydrating myself with soda, so that's really.
okay.
Well, before we get to that,
Bags
we're
of
going to
mostly soda.
We're going to watch the Taz episode. We're going to be watching the Magicks of Megas-Tu. So get your DVDs, Blu-rays, Paramount Pluses, or whichever failing service you wish to use to watch this episode. Big, how does it feel now to be back with the mere peasants when you're not been out there throwing baseballs and attending charity events and things like that? You did. How was that? We haven't actually spoken since you went out there. So for reference, you went and threw the first pitch for who was it? Was
the Texas Rangers, the 2023 World Champion Texas Rangers.
That's big, dude.
Yeah.
You're right. That is.
Yeah, it was one of those things that you never think is something that you would ever do in your life, and now it has again. So it was wild. It was awesome. They gave us great seats to the game. It was everything that I thought and hoped it could be, except for the fact that I one-hopped it to the catcher. So can't have everything.
It's fine.
So, yeah.
Idol, when is it my turn? So Shiaporn appeared on Trek Talk, now a huge star. Big McLarge huge, now an absolutely mega star. Yeah. Is it my turn for the next big break? I don't know.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
What's your talent?
Let's will it
that I'm good at.
Let's will it into
Star Trek.
Let's will it into existence. It's like The Secret, right? Just manifest it.
I think you'd be a successful meme somewhere down the line. I think that'll be a thing. You'll be the next Hawk Tour girl.
Oh no.
I'm so glad that meme's died already. I'm so glad.
Yeah, that kind of went everywhere for a bit. I think it was literally the day after she was selling merchandise. She got on it quick. She was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
She knows how to get on it quick.
Yeah.
Wow! No, and the thing about it is, like, the more you learned about the whole situation, the less interesting it seemed to me. So
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah.
That's
let's
why I
just leave
never
that where
go
it
on
was.
knowyourmeme.com and find it. It's like, oh, I want to know how this game's like. I feel as soon as I that just breaks the spell, and I can't ever use or laugh at those things ever again. Or that particular meme. Just easy enough just to just not. It's like learning that your favorite artists are secretly horrible people, and it's Well, that was a depressing turn. Bad me.
Well, the thing is, it's like it's everyone. Everyone is human, and everyone does stupid things. I mean, some more stupid than others, but you know, if you're looking for other humans to be paragons of virtue and all of that, then you're gonna be inevitably disappointed.
So you take a note, Stan.
Yeah, I'm figuring out all the ways I could be the next most famous person. So yeah, this is great.
These are life lessons.
Be a terrible person, and what else?
I feel like being a meme is a lot less effort than trying to go on a game show. So, you know, that's the easy button. So,
yeah, I just hope there's a market for balding older white guys on TikTok. We'll see. I'll go give it a try. I'll let you know.
There's got to be a
just
trend
like
for middle-aged dads somewhere, hasn't there? There just has to be.
Well, just shoot the you know, sunglasses and trucker hat in the car, but not about the normal subject matter that those are about. Then you'll just be in an alternate lane, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, you got to shoot. Yeah.
Oh, I saw this dude. He covers himself up with this.
Niche.
He has this huge, crazy wig and this red outfit, and he puts these huge sunglasses on. Like that guy, he's got really famous. Maybe I could do exactly what he did. What's his name? Doctor something? I don't know.
Oh, you talking about Dr. Disrespect? No, you don't want to be like him. He's literally just been banned from the internet for texting minors.
Abort.
I know exactly who you mean. Literally been a story this last week.
We're pulling you out. We're stopping this joke right now.
Okay. Oh.
Abort. Oh, shall we watch some Star Trek? Okay.
I guess we could.
This is going to be TAS, the animated series, season 1, episode 8. This is the Magicks of Megas-Tu. I cannot wait for you guys to watch this episode. Who's seen it here before? I'm going to guess none of you have. No, this is
I have
fantastic.
not seen it.
This
No.
episode is unhinged. So
All right.
let's go. Let's start this. Hopefully my button will work. I had to reprogram some things, but hopefully. So we're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Punch it. It did. It worked. Excellent. Just let me know if you're getting audio. Are you getting that?
Nope.
You should be.
I hear it.
I am not getting it.
Every time I hear the beginning of the Taz theme music,
there you go.
It always sounds like the beginning of Sloop John B, the Beach Boys. I always wanted to. Yeah.
Okay. I just love the theme song.
Yeah, I like this whole intro. It's so great. Everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, several frames per second of animation.
I think that's being generous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of like 70s sci-fi in like the UK at this time. And I'm thinking of like Jerry Anderson. I'm thinking of like UFO and how high energy and exciting that is in comparison to this, which feels like it's like, yeah, Star Trek's cool. Yeah. Jamming, man.
I should.
Yeah, Star Trek meets the Harlem Globetrotters.
Guest starring Cher.
Yeah. Especially on Taco Tuesday.
Oh, look at this shot. Look at them trying to do the cage, but they don't have the budget.
Let's go meet God.
What does God need with a fart cloud?
It's just fireworks.
The 4th of July.
Yeah, exactly. We will not move. We refuse.
Oh, man.
The Bee Gees video.
Yes. Can they fend off the snap election?
I wanted Bones to be like, "Where the fuck is here?"
Yeah.
You think I pay attention to the briefings? I'm a doctor. A whirlwind.
Yeah.
Dude. I think.
Warp 10.
You can't go to warp 10.
We're turning into lizards.
Yeah.
Everyone check your tongues.
They've gone
God, fucking shit, we're just eating shit instantly onto the floor.
Just chilling by the sea there.
Everyone's so like. No one gives a toss, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Epilepsy warning, please.
Oh.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like the entire dialogue of these shows is like done with Valium or something. It's just
very spaced out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I wet myself.
Wait, how are you really stood there? What are you?
The center of things.
Spock, have you got some LDS? I just want like the TARDIS to go by right now.
Wouldn't be.
The animators had a good time with this episode.
They did, yeah.
See, it's on the dial right here.
Yeah. 3:15.
Yeah.
Ooh, my marshmallow.
Spock, get out of the fucking camera.
I love this shot. I do. I don't know why. I love the half-face frames.
We died.
As a doctor, that's important.
Yeah. And so am I.
Back on the floor, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even bother
Get the
getting up
protocol.
at this point.
No, the devil.
Yep.
Okay. Ah.
It's the master.
Yes, Roger Delgado. It is.
Yeah.
He would not approve.
He's ripped. Look at
He's
that.
jacked though. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Behold my everlasting gobstopper powers.
5-finger discount. Counted bitches.
The planet Marble.
I like that he's got like a leg up on the little block there.
Rikering up on the console.
Yeah, no. Riker.
Jeez. He's like 1.5% body fat, man.
By the way, I need to borrow your starship.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Let's go do so much cocaine.
I gave you a sample on the way in.
I completely trust you, He-Man Satyr.
Oh my god, he is from He-Man.
In the center of the universe.
Oh, there you go. Face full of dust.
Hmm.
What the hell?
I'm tripping balls, man.
I told you this episode's wild.
Oh.
I'm only 7 minutes in.
What the fuck is this?
Have they done the lens smear stuff as well?
A little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of soft focus lens going on with the anime. Yeah, no, there's total vignetting going on. What the
They
hell?
had the grease left
Smeared
over from season
Vaseline
3.
around the edges of the
Yeah.
of the screen. Yeah. Did he say that's what his name was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, call me Lucian.
Okay.
Oh, look at. What the fuck?
Dreidel, I made you.
That hand action's wild.
Oh my god.
Like tree.
What happened to Megas 1?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because the rest of my life.
We go on red.
So...
Oh, there's Gene.
What?
Yeah. Banana Gandalf.
Your friendly sorcerer contractor? What the fuck?
So I just got a hint of it. Lucian is definitely James Doohan, by the way.
Ah.
There's a hint of it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like James Doohan trying to be Homer Simpson.
Trying to talk like Dudley Do-Right.
There's also a little bit of Brian Blessed.
Yes.
I'll save your dough.
Oh no, it's the clan!
Oh, no. Take the sheets off. It's a bad look.
Hi, Charlie, don't surf. Hello there.
Yes, we're from the Brotherhood of the Space Ghost.
Since there are no coasts here, we're pretty stuck.
Yeah, that's why they're at the river to go coast to coast. Yep.
Look, buddy, you can take your knee for companionship and you can shove it. Oh my god! They are space ghosts! Okay.
Frosted Earth. It's delicious.
Is that the kind of Earth that like a 3-year-old like class in kindergarten draws?
Yeah.
Jimmy, we need an Earth.
Yeah. Either that, or it would be like a Van Gogh that would go for like $300 million.
Yeah, there's no. Jack of all trades, master of none. You know.
I was the expositor. I talked endlessly for entire segments.
They were so happy to leave me behind.
Megan's.
Why did you Megan's? Yeah.
Megan's Law.
Our friendly cousins, the Heathers, will explain.
Satan away!
Go over to planet Stephanie 6.
There's absolutely no way that home soil is going to be able to follow this. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't want to talk about it, Scotty. Don't ask me.
I'd love him to slip into Lucian just then.
Some sort of cloud.
You can't see me if I'm behind a cloud.
I like it. I like it that some of them are saying Lucian and some of them are saying Lucian.
Lucian.
In the same conversation.
Got my face.
Oh wow, we're gonna do a ritual now.
Okay. Time to cut the palm and get the blood.
Yeah.
Sweet mother, sweet mother.
Yeah, Kirk
The
never
dog
talks
brother
about
in here.
satanic phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you.
All right, okay.
Look how ornate those chess pieces are. Like some old lady's decanters.
Perfume bottles, yeah.
I mean, this is a different Scientology sales pitch, but I mean, it's working.
Yes, I've come to get your Eton reading, Spock.
That's usually what I say when I go to the gay bar.
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
The little bishop that could.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Is that supposed to happen?
Wow.
That slow, like, smile on Kirk's face reminds me of those Homer memes, where it's just Homer slowly smiling.
Oh,
It's because he realized that he had mate in 3. So, you know.
Yeah, do it.
No.
Okay.
Least believable part of the episode.
Good luck.
There you go.
50% of the time.
Yeah.
He's drawn really weird. Like he's in separate sections. It's really odd.
Yeah.
Oh God. What the fuck?
Cthulhu-esque
That's scary,
terrors
man.
of the night.
Perfidy.
Are these like the evil spirits from Ernest Scared Stupid? Like what?
All right, I gotta Google perfidy.
Yeah. Well, you need some pure Slovenian miak at this point.
Using that shot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Fireworks.
Yeah. Cue the Batman music.
See, that guy was already laying on the floor before.
Zap.
Oh
Hmm.
well, R.I.P.
That's the end of the episode, I guess. And
We
now
knew
we're
that
in
there was
Clay
vertical
Tales?
saucer separation too.
That's not what they meant by sausage separation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I like
they
how
made
they
an
made
extra
3
hole
for
for
Eric's. Yes.
Yeah, combination for Eric. That's so stupid. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's good.
Oh my god, what the
Our
fuck?
pillory technology is light years beyond yours.
Yeah.
Or read the sign.
Oh, they sound like a bench. Okay, no, they're all stood, yeah. Okay.
So this was the first draft of the Q trial.
Oh, yeah,
Probably,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Well, Trollane, but
Yeah.
this is very, far point.
Yeah.
We only came to serve you delicious Quaker oats.
I don't want to, please.
Your daily recommended supply of dietary fiber.
Let's not talk about lust. Not in this context. I mean, you look pretty fucking evil.
One made a TV show. It was somewhat popular.
That's why they call it Massachusetts.
What's with Cortez in the background there?
Yeah, I don't know if that's period accurate.
Just Things kind of fell apart down in Mexico. We're just pulling some work up here as guards. Yeah.
We just, think we might have to hurt you really, really bad.
Yeah. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to kill you.
We'll do it most humanely.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of are.
Yeah. Pause.
You couldn't have just taken him out of the pillory. You had to zap him out. These fucking Looney Tunes sound effects going off.
Yeah.
So their arms are already in the magic position. Can't they just magic their way out too?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Guys, remember.
Well,
this
if they
day.
were made out of chess pieces, then yeah, they could move them with their mind. But yes.
Remember this day, guys. The day you watched the Star Trek episode where Satan was on trial.
Every Megan is alone in its sphere of knowledge. Every Amanda is joined together, but every Megan.
Every Amanda alone.
Yeah.
No.
Shut up, Lemonius.
I think Kirk is just trying to phase out of reality right now.
Yeah.
But one thing we won't understand is what perfidy means.
Just skip around the part about Love Island.
Don't look at World War III. Don't look at that part.
Yeah.
No, those are your hands.
That's just... Wow.
I guess that was futuristic back when this was done.
I guess.
Yeah.
Punch
Yeah,
cards
count it
and
as the film reels.
yeah. He sounds like a Futurama character.
He does, actually, yeah. I guess play Limbo.
Hello, can you go?
Are you reading your lines, Will Shatner, or are you just stumbling through them?
Yeah. Doug.
His name is Montgomery.
Meanwhile, there's the Christian at the back just freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
We find the one god quite sufficient, thank you.
What did you?
The dodgeball of doom.
Behold my hand torpedo.
Oh my god!
Oh shit! No, this is Space Ghost.
Oh. It's not when me and Otto played Magicka the other night.
Well, I was wondering.
I need every background we've used in this episode stat.
The Rainbow Bridge will protect me.
I'm Doll.
You can't possibly win this magic rap battle.
Shatner only wished his toupees would hold up to that much damage in real life. What's there to understand?
Either, yeah. Oh, this old fucking chestnut. We have been catfished. Now get the fuck out of the camera.
Yeah, about 195 proof.
The hearty breakfast.
Kirk looks so offended.
Yeah.
Getting blackout drunk. Everybody, bottoms up.
I'm teetotal, you asshole.
I think at that
Who's
point you
got
would
some
need a stiff
guns?
drink.
Yeah.
Look at a little magic.
Can you fire a few photon torpedoes? Like,
Only out of your hands.
yeah. James Kirk saved Satan.
Yeah.
You're
Remember,
welcome.
it was all a ruse.
Yeah.
It was Belarus.
Wild. I told you that was a trip. That is like,
Bathing in perfidy.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Good lord.
Start with that.
Okay. Perfidy. Deliberate breach of faith, calculated violation of trust, treachery, or the core tenet of Star Trek, the animated series. No, sorry.
Okay. Okay, everybody, welcome to Star Trek Trek, our ongoing journey through the episodes of Star Trek. I'm joined by a wonderful, colourful host of a crew here. Big is back from touring the world of Jeopardy and pitching baseballs. Dan is here, as is Stars, and we have just finished watching the Magicks of Megas-Tu. Possibly the most unhinged episode of Star Trek I think we have ever watched. Gentlemen? How would you like
this
to
is
start?
a great sequel. I don't really remember the Magicks of Megas 1, but I was glad we got to see this one at least. So.
Yeah, it's good. It didn't really need much setup.
That's the Illustrated World Season 3, just you watch.
Oh my god, would they, if they brought this back? So can we just absorb the fact that right now Kirk saved Satan? And he was a good guy all along? That's a
yeah, and they used
ending.
to write that.
they used that as the stinger at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And Spock is so happy that he came up with that little chestnut at the end of it. So yeah.
I'm reeling. Like,
yeah.
Just think,
That was
this
a
is
ride,
all
man.
canon. This is canon in Star Trek. This happened.
It should be fired from a cannon, yes.
Yes. They went to the LSD dimension.
So it's like, here's the thing. It's like, there was just so much talking through the entire episode. It's like they were expositing through the whole thing. It's like wherever they were, whatever they were doing was completely irrelevant because they were just talking. Trying to line all this up.
Photon torpedo magic balls out of their hands, Big.
Well,
Are you not entertained?
I mean, yeah.
They TBD.
They set it up like they say, like, okay, we're going to go into this world of, like, you know, where time and space and things don't make sense. And you're thinking, okay, I wonder what they're going to do. It's like, no, it's just, we're going to do any Saturday morning cartoon shit we want. Like, this is just going to go off the wall. It was mad.
You know what it actually reminded me of? Like, between, like, the production value, the way it played out, the animation, and Lucian in particular, like, his characterization, it reminded me of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
No, I haven't seen that.
Like, there's something, there's something about that particular tone that felt like that, and it's like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Like, I don't know if that's something they should be proud of.
No, well, it's like Ida was saying, they set it up to where they could go anywhere, they could do anything, and what do they do with it? Pilgrims and Pillories. And some random like forest glen with a couple of random people in it, and that it's animation. You have unlimited capability to do whatever you want.
And that's like some of the early Towns episodes we watched were like, oh wow, cool, they are using this format to do some wild things they couldn't before. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Never has it felt less like humanity was on trial than it did this time.
The trial never ended.
So, being as it never started. So yeah. Anyway,
look, I'm just saying we should get John Delancey back to play Lucian for his inevitable live-action debut.
Well, yeah,
just to take it all come full circle.
It could have been a Q. This could, I mean, we saw the Q dimension in Q and the Grey as like a load of sort of Civil War fight. This could have just been another facet of the Q continuum when they were all pilgrims settling in. But no, it was definitely not. But fun fact: this was written by Larry Brody. He also wrote one more episode of Star Trek. You won't get it, but I'll give you a chance to guess. It was in the 90s era. So can you predict what episode he wrote? You won't get it, but I want to.
Devil's Due.
It was not the Devil's Due, but good. A good link.
No.
I like that.
No, because Devil's Due was a recycled Star Trek 2 spec script along with The Child.
Yes.
Yeah, those were the two. Shoot.
Muse, that DS9 episode?
Not Muse, no.
I'm Move Along Home.
It was not Move Along Home. No, it was from Voyager and it was Tattoo. If you remember that episode. Yeah, he wrote that and this absolute wild episode. He'd unsuccessfully pitched this story for the 3rd season of the original series. I wonder why. But just some fun facts behind the scenes. Gene Roddenberry liked the thought of the Enterprise being confronted by God. Gene thought that it was the greatest thing he'd ever heard of.
We call this foreshadowing, folks.
He said, I've been trying for years to get that out in any way, never really thought about doing it. So he'd do it. And then Dorothy Fontana, famous DC Fontana, said, good news is that we're making a deal. You're going to write the episode we talked about. The bad news is we can't use God, but we can use the devil. So originally this story was about a planet of devils, but as predicted, Gene Roddenberry took the script and completely rewrote loads of the dialogue for it. We all know what Gene Roddenberry's like. That's what he does. But apparently his Brody recalled after watching it saying, "Oh, my name and only my name was still on the cover, and at least there's that."
Well, then not only that, but so now we understand that William Shatner in his directorial Star Trek debut just blatantly ripped off this episode, and it's just like, oh, let's just change enough here. Like, you change a few adjectives to submit the paper that your roommate submitted, and now this is all of a sudden Star Trek 5. So yeah.
Well, you know what? If you
that explains so much that happened in Star Trek 5. So,
like, if you ever needed confirmation that God may not have been dead but is dead now, it's a case if you couldn't make the Star Trek crew meet God in the 70s, but you could meet him in the 80s. That's fine. Yeah, at some point in between those points, God died, so you could feature him in live action media.
Where was your old buddy Lucian? Like, can also remark about how weird Lucian's animation was, because Taz isn't the pillar for animation; they're all quite stilted, but his was like they drew 3 separate parts: his torso and his hand as well. It's freaking giving us a high five every 5 seconds. But yeah, he just seemed to be really like they were just like, I'm going to make the buffest person possible. You got to make him move. What? Oh, okay. Well, his arms are just going to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this was also the voyage home too. So it's Star Trek 4 and 5 because they went back to Earth. TAS is the key, man.
TAS is the blueprint.
No, I think their only concern with Lucian was making him as absolutely yoked, ripped to the gills as possible. Like that's 0% body fat, and I mean, I guess that's what you want in your
explain something to
evil
me.
tempter, but
the Megans. Yes. I know they want to say Megans. That's Megans.
Not the Stephanies, not the Amandas.
Yes.
The Megan.
The Heathers, no, the Heathers, no. They don't. They look like Space Ghost people, right? So they're the Space Ghost Coast to Coast people, right? Why do some of them look like pilgrims, but just Lucian looks like the devil? I was just like, well, hang on.
Well, he doesn't even really look like the devil. He just looks like a satyr from ancient Greece.
Yeah, a little bit fantastical, isn't he? But yeah, he's got the.
But it's like that's not traditionally how you would depict the devil.
He brags at the start, and he's just like, "Oh yes, I used to go down to Earth and sort of talk to people and influence them, and then they started burning me."
You leave Mr. Tumnus to his own devices for that long, it just eventually goes to evil. That's.
See, the problem is
he was out of Aslan's presence for that long, and so
God damn it, James McAvoy.
Yeah.
The problem is that every time someone just like made him a deal, so every time you spat exposition, you have to do 10 push-ups, and he just could not stop himself. That's why he has a physique he does.
Every time an exorcism is pursued, he has to do another 15 sit-ups. Like, for God's sake, power of Christ compels you. Shut up.
I mean, from the look of those medicine balls, I mean, those look like they were made out of depleted uranium. Yeah. So
So was this
also remarkably high in protein? Is Quaker Oats. So there you go.
Is it just me, or is this just like a wilder episode than Taz's usual fare? Like this kind of. The plot is kind of coherent, but they do it in such a weird, overly effecty way with such obscure ways of doing it. Because they try and portray
such a right turn. Because it's like the one that sticks out to me as like out there is the one with the weird plant people and the giant plant people and all that. Like, it was a great episode, like great sci-fi concept. But yeah, but it's like that was like a ramp up to insanity. Whereas here it's like. This is a fairly standard Star Trek setup of like, oh, we're going through a weird space wedgie. Oh no, we've fallen through a space wedgie. We're losing all power. And then it just takes a hard left turn, and then it just keeps on going in a left turn until you're in like circling, and then you're dizzy.
Yeah, so they didn't really pull very many punches. They stopped just short of Shatner actually singing "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." The whole thing was.
So I think that this episode probably suffered more than a lot of the TAS episodes from just being a half hour instead of a full hour, because it feels like they had to condense so much story into, because like it was very clear the story that they were wanting to tell. They wanted to put humanity on trial, and they were just going to throw as many words out as they had to push that across somehow, no matter what the things on the screen that were actually happening were, because it was almost two different stories happening at the same time. It was like the tripping balls center of the galaxy planet thing, and then the trial thing, and then just once that cranked up, it was just words, and it just I
mean, like you've got to think there are at least 3 different plots in this episode. The first is, oh, we're entering a strange and unknown dimension where things could go wild. The next is we've met the devil and he's cool. And then the third one is there's 4. Third one is we're going down to a planet where there's strange wizards and stuff. The random wizard, like you said, banana wizard just out there.
Yeah.
Out of just
Banana
Dungeons
Gandalf.
and Dragons. And then the fourth one, which is just like, oh, we're on Earth, you need to prove yourself to me to prove that humans aren't really that despicable.
Oh, there's a 5th one, don't forget. And also the TAS crew learns how to do magic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Spock just going like the power of Christ compels me and moving a small crystal chess piece was all in like 20 minutes. It's wild.
Yeah.
Who knew that the secret to doing magic was just to do a double C Kyle?
Get out of it.
Big, you recoiled, but you lost, so it's fine.
I don't know. Okay. Let's go on to our best worst. We have a new trigger thanks to Auto. We have a trigger for best worst. Here it is for you.
The best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance.
No.
Just stop saying that.
So, gentlemen, best and worst moments of the episode. Since we haven't seen you for a while, Big, do you want to kick us off? What were your best and worst moments of this episode?
Okay, so I think the best moments were... Well, okay. I think that the best idea that they had was tying this to the Salem witch trials, saying that these people were actually the witches. That's a cool idea. It was executed not at all, but that was a cool idea. Because it was just all tell. There was no show. It's like that was a cool idea to make part of a story around. They did nothing with it, but yeah. So I think that's about the best that I have. Am I doing both or just?
Oh no, go for it. Best first.
Okay, so the worst. Oh man. I think the worst is the button. The Spock button on the end of the episode where he's saying, that's the second time that The devil was cast out, and the first time that he was saved. As if any of those are good things. So, yeah. Well, and it's just that seems wildly out of character for Spock to say, both from like a historical, mythological, logical, all of those things. That just
you know what? It feels like they
to McCoy.
It feels like they mixed up the devil with Prometheus here.
Yeah. Like I think if you gave that to McCoy to say instead of Spock, I think that works better. That feels more.
Yeah, you're right.
In character with him. So yeah, that I'll say that's my worst and cede the floor.
Okay, Dan, best and worst, please.
Best part is that they actually managed to slip talking about a biblical. I guess was Lucifer a fallen angel in the Bible? I don't know, but they managed to slip that past the network censors for a kids show in the '60s and get that on the air. So I mean, kudos to them for making that happen. Can't talk about God. Great, you got it. We're going to talk about the devil instead. Oh shit. All right. Oh whatever. We're too late. We got to air the episode. Worst moment was okay. Guess what, guys? We could do magic now. Magic's real, and we can all do magic. Watch this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back on the bridge, Sulu's like making people, and like it's the best that Spock can do. So yeah.
Making Asian princesses, which I'm like, Sulu, what do you want to explain this? Like,
Asian princesses that turn into a buff goat person. Like, come on.
Really keeping up appearances, Captain.
All right, stars, best and worst.
Oh my god. There's just so much to pick. It's like it just hits so fast and so quick. I think I'm going to give my worst to just like the complete lack of reaction to everything. Just like the stoned quality to everyone's reactions to the random bullshit going on. Like, I know that it's like it's 25 minutes long. You don't want them to be shouting and reacting too emotively because with everything this episode throws at you, don't be doing nothing but that. But it's like they drop to the foot of the bridge and nearly die like twice in the first 10 minutes, and they're like, "Oh, it's another Wednesday," and it's like
there is a shot where Spock and Kirk are just chill on the floor and is like, "We appear to be encountering an anomaly." Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And it's like.
I know that this is like fairly standard, but can you treat it like you're dying?
Yeah.
Like, I know you're in the recording booth, but it's surely in the script you're reading from. It must tell you what the situation is.
I mean, they were
act like it.
They were in between Mai Tais in the recording session, and they were just getting Yeah,
you know what? You know how I always like make sure to single out whenever Shatner gives a great performance, like especially in Twilight Zone. I made sure that both times he was on, he gave an amazing performance. This was one of his worst performances I've ever seen on a Star Trek project. Like, he was just... I am fully convinced that there were pauses in there that were him turning the page of the script and then reading the next line. Because they were that unnatural.
Mr. Shatner, we're running out of reel now. I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Best moment? You know what? I will actually give up. I do kind of like this image of the devil as, like... He doesn't quite feel like the devil again. He feels like more like Prometheus, but I do appreciate this kind of trickstery energy, but not really a trickster. He's too good-hearted for that. He's got a bit of that Trelane Q thing, but he's also not that complicated. He's just a nice guy.
He's just some guy, you know?
Just looking for his drinking buddy. Yep.
And I feel like you could develop this idea, and that'd be because I'm a sucker for really interesting versions of like of death and the devil in fiction. Like, I really like Sandman for that reason. I really like the original Ghost Rider with Nick Cage is actually a really interesting version of death of the Satan as like a sleazy car dealer almost. And I appreciate when you take that concept and you run with it. And if you push this concept far enough, I like the idea of the devil not as someone who tempts you to do things, but it's just so much fun to be around that he pushes you to such heights, and then you do things you regret. I kind of like. That's pushing it almost into fan fiction territory, but there's an idea here. I could see that if you gave this a much longer period and actual character development than arc, you could go places. So, and like mentioned, fucking Jimmy Doohan is acting his goddamn heart out. Like, you can tell it's him, but he's going for it. He is emoting. He is putting every force he can.
He's just like, I'm getting paid double for this, right? No. Oh.
No, never.
I mean, that Lucian voice is about as far as I've heard him away from what I'm used to hearing him as it can get. Yeah, this whole episode just kind of feels like the cake batter was put in the microwave for about 90 seconds, and that's it. That's all you got.
Of different food colorings in there, and just mix it all up out.
Yeah.
I'll go by best moment. I liked that they used. I mean, they reused them, but I like the effects that they do in this, and they try to make it a wild, trippy encounter. Like when they beam down to the planet, and Kirk's all kind of wiggly, like he's walked into a funhouse mirror, or like you kind of get sort of like Enterprise not just shooting at a random green orb. They're going through weird space. They made an effort to make this try and seem so trippy. My second best moment is when they're on the planet talking to Lucian. He's going, "Oh, my wonderful people," and they pan over to a wizard in a yellow suit, just magically makes some avant-garde art out of nowhere. Just like that wizard. I want that character in Timelines. Where is my banana wizard from Taz? Like,
come on, yeah.
I need fake crew now. Come on. Worst moment. I don't know. I feel like my worst moment is the culmination of just how they randomly pivoted to Salem all of a sudden. Like, okay, the Lucian stuff was just kind of like, okay, we've got some kind of trickster god. He's going to do something nefarious, and there's this planet. And what's his angle here? He's the devil, right? And all of a sudden, like, no, here's some genuine, like, people that are referred to in history as quite fucked up and bad and the cause of a lot of problems. Here they are. They're just, oh yeah, we're Megans. And yeah, we're going to put you on trial and put you in. It's just a wild thing. It's a little bit of suspension of disbelief. Like, your alien people, just have them come out as the Space Ghost people. And they go, look, this is us, our real us.
As Dan said, there's like the one random conquistador in there for no real reason.
Yeah, that was weird.
I got the wrong time. So yeah, that's kind of my worst moment. I mean, I think we all feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, bizarre or bad stuff going on in this episode, but
it's like, here's the thing. It feels like there are a bunch of really good ideas, and just none of them are given a fair shake. And it just it's soup. We've
seen that a lot with TAS. It's just so hyper accelerated. They don't have time to ponder on anything for too long.
This felt worse though. This felt like this was just breakneck speed, like go from one trippy effect to the other, and like I don't know if they just ran out of time and just threw all the paints at the palette and just like went print it, put it through. But it was wild. Okay, let's go on to our rating.
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3. That's much too low a rating.
Much too low a rating.
Seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
That's right, and as per usual, stars. What is our rating criteria for this wild episode?
Gentlemen, how many magic rap battles out of 10 would you like to give the Magicks
Oh
of
my god, I
Megan
completely
to
forgot about that bit as well. Kirk and the Salem guy just having a wizarding battle.
As well, he
Star
couldn't
Trek,
stop.
like this happened.
And he couldn't stop during it as well. It wasn't even just like, I'm going to fire. It's like, no, I'm going to keep on talking.
Kirk's been given the glasses in the Wrath of Khan, thankful that he doesn't have to take Retnax 5 anymore because it doesn't work, and he remembers back to McCoy's like, remember that time I was a wizard? Oh dear. But okay, how many magical rap battles will you give this one? Big, please.
Okay. So I'm torn here because am I rating it based on what it could have been or what it is? Because what it is, I would say it's about like a 3 out of 10. Just because it's crazy enough to have a little bit of entertainment value on its own. But it's like, if you're rating it on what it could have been, I'd say it's probably the potential of like a 5. But I think you have to grade it on what's there. And I think it's too much. It's too much. And then also not enough at the same time. So yeah, I think I'm just going to have to stick on a 3. 3 out of 10.
3, wow. Dan.
So, I mean, this was nonsense, right? So,
Like this isn't really, there's no plot here. And so is the argument that, okay, if we had all the budget to throw at this and we could make this really great and we could actually have everybody appear on screen and travel to Nimbus 3 and then have Uhura Banana Dance and do all this, do all the things that we want to do, would this be better? Would this be improved? If we gave this an hour and a half and made people pay just to see this one episode and sit in the theater, would this be better? No, there's no amount that you can take this and make it bigger. At its core, it's one of the most trite things in sci-fi. We're going to the center of the universe. We're going to the center of the earth. We're going to the chewy nougat center of a Tootsie Roll pop. Just nothing. You could throw darts at a dartboard and write this episode. And then on top of it, we got like the Love American style explosions and stuff. And the whole thing is just so ridiculously over the top. This is like Kitty Romper Room hour. There's nothing to this. It's not Star Trek. It's not like, I'm glad we got the voices of Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner, and that's about as Star Trek as this gets. So it's a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10, pure lowest. Well, not the lowest we've ever seen, but it's down there. Stars. As a historically negative voter, what are you giving this episode?
I mean, I feel like I'm still processing it.
You take one Megas-Tu, it hits you in about 2 hours.
It's not really an episode so much as it is an epileptic seizure.
Yeah.
It's just...
Is it the Star Trek equivalent of that Pokemon episode? They had to put warnings out in front of it, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Like, as an episode of Star Trek, I feel like it's probably like a 1.5, because it makes a vague stab with a very blunt stick at some ideas, and doesn't commit to a single one of them. As an episode of a 70s chintzy cartoon with some voices that I recognize, it did make me laugh a lot. I did have a good time watching it. I can't say I hate it. I didn't have a bad time watching it. I feel like I might grab this and show this to someone else just to make them laugh.
Yeah.
And I feel like overall this episode has brought more joy into the world as a result of that than a lot of other worse episodes that are just dull. I will always take entertainingly bad and just sort of insane over, this is a net negative worth for the human race. Which
ironically, Satan wasn't.
Yeah, and that is, I think, is exactly describing Star Trek V. So
yes,
like if you look at my ratings, you'll see that there's something I've got a negative in this because I feel like they actively damage like Star Trek as a whole, or the
Code of Honor.
Like, yeah, exactly. And it's like I feel like they actively damage media, like the concept of telling stories has been damaged, and this did not do that. So I feel like if I'm honest, this is like. It's a 4.5 Magic Rap Battles out of 10. It's not good, but I can't say with all my heart that it's bad. It's fine. It's very silly.
I can say it was
it's your
bad,
kid.
but...
it's your kid's macaroni art. It's like you did your best.
Yeah. Oh, look at you, kiddo.
I love the idea they showed this episode in front of a load of executives. And you did your best, didn't you?
The executives pinned it up to the fridge, and
it's like, we just invested $35 million in this. Oh, look.
This did not have a budget of $35 million.
No, well, okay, fine, but I'm thinking modern day budgets, but all right. I can say this was bad. It was unhinged. It was wild. You are right, Stars. I had a good time watching it because this is the perfect thing you watch with a load of mates and you laugh at it. That's the best thing about bad episodes of Star Trek is because someone's laughing at it, and that this was perfect for this because just of the absurd things. But there was too many plots. The acting was stilted. Why they chose the devil to be a good guy was bold, and I just lack of enthusiasm from the crew and probably even the script writer who couldn't quite coherently put all these pieces together and explain them. If I was a child watching this, I'd have just been like, pretty colours, what's going on? Like, it took subtitles to understand this one. It was balls to wall. I was entertained. You're right, Stars. But again, you would show this to go, do you want to watch the wildest episode of Star Trek ever? Like, this is just, I can't think of anything more absurd. literally, I can't think of a more absurd episode than this.
Okay, let me ask you all. Would you rather watch this or Angel 1?
Angel 1. I had a good time watching
Really?
that.
I kind of would say Angel 1 too.
Really?
Would you rather watch this or The Final Frontier? In which case, I'd rather watch this.
I went with this shorter. Yes.
Yeah. It's quicker.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Would you rather watch this or the scene in Angel 1 where like Troy and Yar are talking before Riker walks in? Like that part of it.
I remember what they even said. I tried to remember.
Yeah. But anyway, no, okay. I think I would still. I think I would still watch Angel 1, but this is. Yeah.
I see that I have many appreciators of Angel 1 amongst me. I must prune you.
Actually, I do remember we watched Angel 1. I don't think you were in that review, Stars, but I messaged you after and went, everyone seemed to like Angel 1. You were just like, what is going on? When I step away for 5 minutes and you guys are just coming up with bad ideas.
Puffing fumes? Like, what?
On that note, I'm going to give this a 2. This was wild. I would certainly show it to other people, but this was not even good for Taz. Like, in Taz ratings, I've seen some excellent episodes of Taz. On that note, if you're on the stream, stick about, because we're going to be watching TNG's Home Soil next, so stick about for that. But for everyone else, we'll see you in a couple of weeks for our review of said Home Soil. Big Dan Stars, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
Next time. What?
Wow. All right, spool up your... Do you guys need to get a drink or a break or anything?
I'm good.
Good.
Full send.
Full send. Let's do Home Soil. You know what we forgot to do last episode? We forgot to do pre-ratings.
Pre-ratings.
We did forget to do pre-ratings, which would have been wild for this one. So let me just Home Soil. Do that, and we are ready. Okay, so what do we remember about Home Soil? Because I can't remember which episode this is about. I'm sure I'll know it as soon as like the first 5 minutes.
I remember ugly bags are mostly water.
No, that's not this episode, is it?
It's this episode.
Oh, I think I like this one. I think I do actually like this episode.
No, you don't. You don't. That's a good line. You don't like this episode.
The points of light, and they go to the mining planet, and they're just like, it's not life.
Yeah.
Like, actually, no.
Yes, it's the communicative.
No, that's the other mining planet.
It's the communication via light bright. Yes, but no. Yeah, and the computer tries to kill Data or something, or some kind of
the mining laser tries to kill him. Yeah,
he just badass in this episode. Yeah, he does his job. So anyways,
okay. In which case, let's go reverse. Stars, what's your pre-rating?
You know what? I remember this being like middle of the pack for season 1 of TNG. Like, I think it's probably gonna be a bit more boring than I remember, but like, it at least makes like an attempt at like a sci-fi concept that, as someone who hadn't seen TOS, was relatively new of idea of Silicon Life. Like, so I'll be optimistic, and I will say 6 out of 10. I'll be optimistic.
6. Oh, actually, I want
to
be
very optimistic.
Go with yours, Big.
Next time on Star Trek.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, you got the voice.
Dan's the man for that. Hang on, I think I.
All right, Big. What's your pre-rating?
I remember this episode being boring as shit.
There are a lot of scenes of people standing around in a room talking. That's pretty much the episode.
But usually that's a good thing in TNG.
Yeah, no, it's like and I just remember the mining set being exceptionally boring. Like it's
very gray.
You know, like a mid-90s hotel conference room with a.
I think it's way worse than that. But yeah, you're probably right.
And it's just like a couple of sets and just very beige. Lots of just beige.
The children's dinner
everywhere.
of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's a TV dinner. But there are a couple of good lines. I mean, obviously, ugly bags of mostly water is a banger of a line that resonates far beyond its origin. But yeah, I could not fathom giving this more than a 2 out of 10 as a pre-rating. It's like I remember this and We'll Always Have Paris as being like
we lost Big
of season 1 TNG. Yeah, sorry, of season 1 TNG.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know if you caught what I said, but like this and We'll Always Have Paris.
Oh yeah,
are like the two snoozer episodes above all in season 1 TNG.
Interesting.
So,
Dan,
2 out of 10.
So I'm a little worried. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it. I do remember all the cool parts, but I have a feeling that the moment you play the trailer for this, Idol, which I see you have queued up, we're going to have seen all the cool parts that exist in this episode. So, the entire episode probably is just one big long briefing room scene. But we do get a couple of action moments.
And it's maybe. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk over you, but it's like it's peak whiny scientists. It's like, oh, my research, my project, and that's the whole episode.
Not only that, but then we start out with a bunch of whiny scientists, and then we bring it on the Enterprise, and they just stand around whining in medbay, just trying to fix it. Anyways, it doesn't get much better once the action moves up. But it's a nostalgic episode for me. So I did a watch through of The Next Generation with my wife, and so this is one where I think we remember it fondly because we even riffed on it back when we were watching it. So it's got some nostalgia to it. Also, I think it's blatantly ripped off from a TOS episode too, which we'll get into as we're watching. But it's one of those things that it has a little bit of history, and the source material is familiar, and it's a kind of a Star Trek-y episode. It just kind of limped in on the execution, so I guess we'll see. Pre-rating, I'll give it. I think I have to be fair and give it a 4, and I hope to be able to bring it up. We'll see.
Yeah, so I remember this one quite fondly, but then I don't, like you say, I remember the big moments like Data and doing his cool stuff, and the concept of life that could be, the life that could be something other than what we know. But I think I'll go with stars. I'll go with a 6 as well. I won't quite push us up to a 7 because we're not allowed 7s. But I think. But let's play the trailer. So I'll pipe this through to the stream as well. So you should see this in the top right corner. So.
Next time on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Data's in the hydraulics room alone, and we're hearing laser blasts.
An invisible enemy attacks.
What is it? Could it be alive?
And a small but powerful life force is unleashed.
Evacuating lab.
Now it's growing.
This keeps up, it'll tear up the Enterprise.
And declaring war on the crew.
It has the power to destroy this ship and everybody on it.
On Star Trek The Next Generation.
Wow.
See, they attempt to open doors.
That looks great. We talk about this action.
That was all the cooler parts of the episode.
Yeah.
You're completely right.
Oh, incredible! All right, let's talk. Let's get straight into it. We are getting this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Captain's log, stardate 41463.9. While mapping the Pleiades cluster, we have been asked by the Federation to visit a group terraforming Valara 3. Communications have been erratic, and there is some concern about their...
Ding. There we go. For a brief moment, someone was watching the episode. We should have actually done this with Devil's Due. That would have been a good little twofer, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Plus, that's a lot more fun of an episode than this one.
Yeah. Charisma.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
Oh, yeah. Man, this dude is such a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bored already.
I think the problem is we're whiplash from the Megas-Tu episode, aren't we?
Jordy, have you considered... Yeah, I was going to say, you want to give it a scan before you say no one's home?
Go away!
We already got one.
Now, if I'm right, this guy's name is Walter Gotell, the actor.
Right.
Is that right? Let me just check that. Because if he's who I think he is, he's kind of interesting. We alarm him.
I guess that's better than I Sense Nothing.
Yeah, so this guy plays like a recurring KGB general in James Bond about like 6 times.
Oh,
he looks
dude.
the type, actually.
Yeah.
Holy crap, yeah, that's him.
That's Gogol, yeah.
Yeah, Moonraker.
Yeah.
You know, she actually is being quite useful there. This is the one time
Yeah.
when he's not
Rare.
revealing on screen. It's a rare Troy accurate moment.
Yeah. Because he's not giving anything away in his
No.
voice, so... This prop from Wrath of Khan, it's very important. I stared at it.
All of his consoles are from the original series Enterprise Bridge.
Yeah, they totally are. You do know they can read your lips. You don't, like...
A rumph.
The swiveling consoles.
Why is everybody walking directly towards the view screen?
Yeah.
It's all just go in front
Let's
of the
go out the front.
This is my favorite turbo lift. This is my lucky turbo lift.
Yeah, I have to
You
go
don't use the front door enough, guys. This is great. There's so much room. Ramming in a turbo lift, smelling Worf all the way to the promenade.
Hey, guess what? Worf has a very earthy, peaty aroma with a hint of lilac. It's lovely.
Okay, we'll have to do this in each time. What do you think each cast member smells like?
I feel like Riker smells like Old Spice.
Yes.
I mean, how far into the season are we at this point?
This is episode 18.
Oh wow.
Oh man, yeah. Those unitards are biohazards at this point.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Patrick Stewart's back is already done irreparable damage.
We find out the truth. The Picard maneuver is just to air it out. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just
Do
shaking
you think you know when you get a sweaty top, you kind of just do that, and you just feel like the gas vents come up of all your BO.
These are all just they're just anti-swamp ass measures at this point.
No, I like to think they've got dune suits. They've actually got like filtration going through the entire body.
And they drink their own urine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But still.
No, that's just Patrick Stewart. He's weird like that. It's an acquired taste.
I've seen everything.
Not as good as the TAS intro. Hate to say it.
Yeah.
TAS got a beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I always conflicted about the TNG intro because it's so iconic, but it is quite dull.
Yep.
Well, yeah, compared to Voyager and DS9 especially, yeah.
Look at that.
Well, that's a decent little map, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, look at this fucking place.
This is a T. Yes, you're right.
Doors.
It's a TOS set.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. What episode does Yark get written out?
It's not a few. It's like an episode or two away, I think.
Yeah, Skin of Evil is like.
Oh, they're playing
20.
Battleship over there, I guess.
In a couple of decades, you won't recognize it. Well, you might, Yar, because you'll be. Well, anyway.
No, he's got his. I've just seen a woman smile.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she's wearing a lot of lipstick for a terraformer.
Well, everyone's got to look good in the morning.
I mean, if you're doing like terraforming, do you?
Well, I'll tell you what, go learn terraforming. Maybe lipstick's essential.
Oh yeah, that mullet is real bad. 1988. Oh boy.
Oh, is that MacGyver? No, it's not.
Pleasure to meet you, Richard Dean Anderson. Yes.
Yeah. I'm afraid my chin butt precedes me.
I don't believe you.
He's full smart mode. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
I like how she has this gigantic globe behind her that's supposed to be their terraforming project, but there's nothing on it. It's just blank. Like, what the hell have they been doing?
Otisburg? Otisburg?
Otisburg?
I told you about Genesis.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I want Data to be like, "Hey, how does it feel to be a cut rate like Carol Marcus?" And she's like, "Wow, thanks, love it, feeling the energy."
Oh man, those
Riker
chairs.
was checking out her mass there.
Oh my god.
Isn't that radar thing in the background one they use in Voyager in that Mars episode at some point? Or I'm sure I've seen that thing at some point somewhere else.
He's still
What
checking
is
it
that
out.
weird like chiropractic thing back there?
Phase 3, we created too many movies and too many TV shows at once and kind of buggered up the franchise. Oh no, wait, that's Phase 4. Never mind.
Ah, it's a Reddit forum, I see.
It'd be more entertaining to just show you this as the episode goes on, but we don't have time for that. We need to get all of this out of the way right
just
now.
rolled the Genesis footage, honestly.
Yeah.
No, they'd have to pay Shatner.
I know that the tone of my voice doesn't really communicate that joy, but you know.
That's because all of my dialogue was replaced with ADR after the fact. So.
Was that her?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Now that explains everything. Now. Yeah.
No amount of terraforming can replace my hairline.
First the
that
planet,
is a barren
then
thought,
my
yeah.
head.
All right, buddy. I was trying to kill James Bond, you see.
These outfits all do look like they've been stolen off Doctor Who as well.
Yeah, they do feel like they should be fighting the Silurians, yeah.
I mean, how many packs of black licorice do they need to go through to make those belts?
That's just a lot of SCART cables. Full conversion, Cyberman, see? Now.
I'll meet
Yes,
you
we
there.
paid you for all of the lines that you're going to have in this episode.
Pumped up in the hydraulic chamber with you.
Get in the chamber and assume the position.
I think you're
Let's
right.
rub
I think
foreheads.
Bang on there.
Is it? Promise?
Is that like the tactile touch? Like, ooh.
Jordy the geologist.
Yeah. Where's Carstairs? We need to get his opinion.
How about something of interest to the audience?
Yeah.
Oh, vegetation grass. We'd love to see this. Thanks, Dr. Mandel.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
beautiful.
just the bridge.
Riker's just like, I have no idea what I'm watching. Yeah, it's good. Incredible. Wonderful. Yeah.
Well, look, there's Waldo.
Well, I see a mullet, but you know.
Yeah.
Would you like to smell my thoughts? I think they smell fantastic.
Ah, he's stuck in his Overactors Anonymous. Oh boy.
Well, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to bring up, we know how this guy died, right?
Yeah.
Did he sound like he was in pain?
Well, the screaming was a bit of a giveaway.
Because it's like, how many times did he get hit? Like twice?
Also, why didn't they never... Where's the medic? Who's the medic here?
Yeah, that's the point, actually. Yeah, you should have a doctor on site.
Coming next Tuesday.
Oh, he's not dead.
It's like a leftover set from Tank Girl or something.
Where are the kangaroo people?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, that was a good idea. We should have done that.
Oh, by the way, we're pretty sure he's dead. Yeah.
You're gonna pull out a tricorder and like go, you know, like.
I just want Tasha at the back to just be eating crisps. Just go, what's going on, guys?
Way to go,
I too
Yar.
am going.
She's doing her job.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have done that?
I'm gonna save this
to
guy's
begin
life.
with?
Riker already killed him, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
The height of melodrama. The height.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I've got a small tear just right here.
Is a laser.
Line.
Yes, it's very.
I can tell all of this with it deactivated, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
That's true.
Stupid conclusion. The factors do not support that conclusion.
Jode.
The program.
Yeah, I call that program.
Yeah.
Big fan of Spider-Man too. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that'll teach you, Vent. They're just evaporating all their waste. So what you're saying is that Mallinson was just bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Had the reflexes of a geriatric, like, wrestler or something. I don't know.
Do you not have a phaser?
Oh, why didn't I think of that?
Or wedge your chin in between the door and the door jab.
Beam him out.
Let's use the chins of life.
Ada's hotboxing.
I busted it up.
Yes. That was very aggressive. Yes. Why wouldn't I be?
Yeah. When I pulled my pants down and mooned it, it seemed to take offense.
I'm just imagining, you know, the Peter and Chicken fight from Family Guy. I'm imagining that with Data and this laser. It just goes absurdly long in all sorts of places.
He just starts running up the wall and backflipping. How is that a year's work? It's just a laser drill.
Phyllis.
Get over it. Get over it.
That's what we're asking. I think Dr. Mendel's the most empathetic character. He doesn't want to be in this either.
Has he ever taken his hands out of his pockets this entire episode?
Get the whacking stick while you're at it. Don't mean reprogrammed.
Yeah, he said program. Picard said schedule instead of schedule. What the hell's going on here?
No, I say
It's reprogrammed with data.
Schedule.
Or someone who worked on Doom, whatever.
Elite hacksaw, if you will.
I mean, I just sent him to their quarters. Like, what do you think?
Bring me Lieutenant Columbo.
That'd be
that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a much better episode. Yeah, where's Lieutenant Columbo?
Unfortunately, we get Mrs. Columbo in about 7 years' time.
Crusher's got her hands in her pockets too. Is it just cold on the set today?
No, they just don't want to show their hands on this episode.
Yeah.
I'm also looking for anyone talented enough to write another episode.
I don't know. I'm enjoying this.
No, we don't believe it either.
I mean, it's no the dog did it, but you know.
Thanks for that music sting.
Yep, still broken.
I know, I was there.
I know, I broke the shit out of
it. Just jumped up on it and started swinging on it like I was Miley Cyrus in a wrecking ball.
It says soft beeping. Is Edie down there? Eddie?
I can't see shit.
Holy moly.
I've never seen a hole that big.
Well.
It's the Death Star reactor core.
Yeah, you can just throw Palpatine down there right now.
Nothing but basic elements. It's nothing but pumpkin spice as far as the eye can see.
Hey guys!
You're overstepping your mark here, Brady. You're not seeing that.
It's
a
jazz,
flashing white
man.
light.
You
It's
just
all
gotta
about the
get
flashes
with
you
it.
don't flash.
Yeah.
It's all about the writing you can't see.
Yeah.
Mallinson.
I like how it's right in Mallinson, but the subtitles put in Malincon, which is
But
that's a very
everybody-
different name.
But they got their act together. Everybody's pronouncing it the same way here, so
Yeah.
not like Lucifer or Lucian or whatever.
Straight up. Yeah.
What's supporting it?
The plot.
Organic means it contains carbon. That's what it means. That's literally all it means.
Hey man, she's not a scientist or a doctor. Not really.
Well, I like the
Water
first
exists,
step,
but, you know.
which is kidnapping it from its natural environment. Let's see how else we can fuck this up.
Yeah.
Just take
the
it
point.
with one.
Yeah. Yeah. Proceed to start poking it with sticks.
Yeah. Well, I've asked the computer to scan it. I have no idea what to do.
I didn't like the conclusion. Ask it again. Let's ask her. I want a second opinion.
Maximum magnification. Okay.
It's a jack, sir.
Shut up.
Shut up,
No,
Leslie.
yeah, no, actually.
You're not helping.
I'm going to shoot it.
Now put your right hand in.
Cha-cha, real smooth.
Put your hands on your hips.
Just a step to the right.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to put in the red bulb to get that to happen.
Yeah.
It does mean changing the bulb.
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Do I have to do all the work myself?
Yes, actually.
That thing over there.
Mardi Gras.
I just realised there's a TOS film screen above other heads there. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the McCoy's sick bay, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, theorize, you tell me. Fuck off.
The cereal, the board game, what?
The universe and everything?
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Recon.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it's screening all over our med bay.
You got lucky.
And destroy
Create mountains and shit. Come on.
God, look
Put your hands in your pockets.
I feel.
Do it again.
Oh, we got Lucian. No torpedoes this time.
Wait, why is Troy being so useful?
She's genuinely useful. All the women in this episode are doing their damn jobs. This is great.
Yeah.
I don't know what the men are up to, but they're off doing some murder mystery cosplay thing. But...
They just got his pipe again.
Oh yeah, is this where the first mention of Holmes was in this episode, or is it different?
No, I think that's already happened.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, BC's beer reviews.
Cheers, beers.
lots of dreams, not a lot going on up there.
We don't refer to little data in polite context.
Okay. I was asking if you wanted me to come in. I see you found our lovely 90s.
Yeah. Well, they are Enterprise issue 90s.
Yeah.
So she's not crying about the death of her colleague. She's crying about the end of her work.
Oh yeah, she hated him. Yeah.
Terraformers notable like sociopaths.
Well, he kept stealing her lunch out of the fridge. It's just, eventually it was
cheating at Monopoly. Just like what a dipshit.
Yeah.
It seems colonial, simple. What? Define that for me. I have a bosom here that you can fall into if you really need to. My heart, it won't go on.
Man, the writer really wants us to care about this, and we just don't.
The music's trying.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
What's he talking about?
That feels like a the dub clip waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Oh, I need to make some more of those.
Yeah.
Oh, she's fixed. Brilliant. Well done, Riker.
Yeah, no, there you go. Riker did it. It's fine.
Oh no, she's sad. He left.
Is it about the creature? No, it's just for your colonoscopy.
That topical cream you ordered has come in.
Time for coffee and croissant.
Oh, yeah.
It used to go beep beep. Now it goes beep.
Wesley's like, why are we all leaving?
Computer, analyze the pattern of the beeps. Confirmed. Captain Pike says yes.
Yes. He said yes twice.
I believe it's the melody to Funky Town, Captain.
Computer, replicate earmuffs.
I think it says the fries are done.
This is outrageous. Now there are two of them.
Sure, Merry Christmas.
There's two of them.
Well, I mean, fire grows, but
yeah.
Eat it, Joes. Eat it, Joes. Eat it, Joes.
Computer, I said quarantine field around it, not on top of it.
No, Wesley's gonna go bald too.
Oh.
See him up there.
Your
mama.
Ah.
It's Conky from Pee Wee's Playhouse.
The secret word is genocide.
Discovery, I thought they cancelled that.
And unfortunately, we've been evacuated from the sick bay, and I'm in desperate need of a lozenge.
Asking us for the way to the bathroom.
This ugly bag of mostly water is full.
Oh, he's in the episode. Great.
We promise.
Yeah, I forgot we hadn't even seen him. It's always like that in season 1. It's like, so what is Worf's job? Yes.
I guess it's bridge relief officer.
Yeah.
Wharf of all trades.
Yeah. Don't forget, the captain wants
Swiss
his
Army
junior
Wharf.
officers to learn. Stop. Hammer time.
Yeah. Talk to me. Shut up.
Sit down, Lieutenant. Okay, just okay.
You are being deliberately evasive. Stop it right now.
The only reason I know that is
Big
because my
promise.
telepath scanned your brain, which is technically illegal.
There's no
He's
human
even
rights
doing
violation.
evil guy hands.
Yeah. Oh, the other guys do. Oh, he's evil too. Here's the
Yeah.
church. Here's the steeple. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it.
Oh.
Inflating wave arms, man.
You already used that one before the episode break.
Mm.
Yeah. It was then that I carried you.
You see, Captain Picard, when I was walking on the beach, there were two sets of footsteps.
It's Christopher Walken and the weapon of choice.
We thought Mallinson had gone outside to take a whiz.
Yeah, well, we're better.
You can't know that, turns to Troy. He knew that.
So we just destroyed it.
Yeah. I mean, it
Just
got someone
Imhotep,
killed,
it's
so,
fine.
you know. They said no
Knocks to the
kill
moon.
eye.
Yeah, no kill eye.
No kill eye, yes.
Well, they did draw a dick butt once, but we thought that was just a coincidence.
Does he have a brother called Hedges?
I was going to go for a Bunsen and Honeydew, but okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
Life form divided against itself cannot stand.
Ah, my marbles have arrived.
I didn't know you lost them.
Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. That's my Viagra subscription.
Was Worf just trying to do a Taz face then?
Yeah, a little bit.
Now I am in the frame.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Fat
To cut it
controller.
with. Yep.
So Wolf gets the bit. Who the fuck are you?
Oh. It's Chief Engineer Blowout.
Yeah. Lieutenant Commander Debbie.
Oh, that's Megan. We've been looking for Megan since the last episode.
She's only an ensign. Why is she in charge?
I was gonna say, why is she a 45-year-old ensign?
Yeah. Kathy Lee Crosby.
I think you've peaked, madam.
Send a kiss from a rose immediately.
Maximum magnification. People staring at screens. That woman in the back with the scant, like,
How about we get the chief engineer? Whoever or whatever they are this week.
We may be
We're
on
never
the most
gonna survive.
advanced ship, but you know, we can't possibly read it about. Have you considered putting a giant box on top of it?
I better do a source of separation just to make sure.
Yeah, there you
go. Not me.
I'm mostly tea.
The negotiator, Dr. Crusher. We leave many answer phone messages.
We ask you about the extended warranty.
God damn it.
We require 5 to 7 business days for response.
Thank you for that dramatic drive-by information, Riker.
I'm going to lunch now.
I want you to love me for my mind.
Bag in dome.
Shame about that.
You know, do you want to try that? Like photon torpedoes, like load them up. Art thou feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Oh, they really rocked them. Mm.
Yeah.
They're fucking so hard they're shaking the ship.
If the sick days are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Oh! Don't worry, ladies, I've got you. I'm as stable as a tree.
I've got an arm for each of you.
For that.
Yeah.
Nobody's on the floor. At least in TAS, everybody was on the floor.
Yeah.
It's getting them up off the floor that was difficult part.
Oh, the micro brain. That's not, brood or anything.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that what Q called Warp as an insult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a macro head.
I like the image of like everyone being evacuated and they're just like flowing away, like to the edges of the ship. Data, of course, has no opinions on that.
Shouldn't talk about Wolf like that when he's right there.
More talking.
I feel like we could be spicing this up by having a magic rap battle right now.
Do you think they did like a? Do you think they had like a partnership with the Open University for some sort of educational thing about what life constitutes, and they just went, yeah, let's just play this episode. We could all learn something.
Listen to their advisors a little. They didn't really understand what the advisors for the episode were saying, so they just copied it word for word and put it in as dialogue.
Yeah.
Hell no, we won't go.
You can't make us.
Our Pop-O-Matic bubble technology is light years. No.
We've given up. We tried nothing. We're all out of ideas.
Well, that's it. Self-destruct the ship. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. So the inorganic life forms won't have any oxygen. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems...
Again, they got to stop talking about Worf like that. He's learning, okay?
Have you considered going down there with a vacuum cleaner and sucking all the air out?
Yeah.
Man, I do like Shouty Picard in the early seasons.
They need Brondo.
Brondo.
It's got electrolytes.
Yeah.
The rocks crave.
Oh yeah, this is where you get a Prime advert or something, isn't it? It's only 35 calories.
Like water from the toilet.
You seem very weepy, madam.
Yeah.
But not weepy enough that you won't reapply your lipstick over and over again.
Yeah. Priorities.
Sunglasses.
Have you considered putting like a polarized filter or something like that? You know,
Ooh,
like
geode.
Holy crap, Captain, it's delicious.
I mean, I usually do as well, but you know.
Yeah, not right.
Geologist Geordi strikes again.
Man, Data, dial it back a notch.
Yeah,
Good
no, a
God.
little bit. Yeah.
Captain, put your hearing aids back in.
Put the devil in the darkness, Geordi.
Just go down there and throw a blanket over it.
That's true. Yeah, the putting the box on it method seems to be improving.
Yeah, no, like
It's
you tried
brilliant,
it, you know.
How many Star Trek episodes can we solve with a box?
More than you think, less than you'd hope.
Okay, I'm going to add that into every episode now. Could this episode have you fix with the box?
Killing the lab lights. Don't let them shine well. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you don't like it? Oh. So much for the tolerant left.
Bags
You know,
of
they're
water are dicks.
Dick bags of water.
Dick bags.
Yeah, dick bags of water.
We're bags of salty water. Shouldn't you communicate with us?
Oh my god, I think Dick Bags of Water is going to go down in history. That one is.
Yeah.
Let's go to Wits.
Transport them to Kokomo.
Aruba, Jamaica. Just a tad, just a teensy bit. That, you know, most scientific.
Picard, you don't have to put out the red light.
It does mean changing the bulb.
Do you believe in a thing called love?
It's living in a young rock's heart.
It knows too much. Airlock it.
No, that's those scientist dudes. We're totally cool up on the Enterprise. What are you talking about?
So they operate like the soup Nazi? You know, come back 3 centuries.
The terraform for you.
Yeah.
When is Discovery going to come back to this species?
Yeah,
They did. I think it grows up and becomes the silicon crystalline entity.
Oh, yeah.
It's the baby.
Riker just took a
If this were a later season episode, I was just say he just puts a box over it and smothers it.
It's totally going to take a bite of that thing.
How's it going, guys?
How many licks does it take to get to the center of this Spitzy Pop? I like to imagine they're gonna beam it like you're like 15 meters above the surface. It just like falls and breaks.
Just like really unsatisfactory. It's like done.
You want some of this candy before I beam it away?
Permission for 1 lick, sir.
If we color it blue, I think we can sell it. Zuko's buying.
Hey Wesley, want to buy a necklace?
Tight.
Well, you definitely have to disable the Heisenberg compensators for that.
Oh man, that was quick.
She just beams it into space.
Oh no, we accidentally 2-vixed it with Worf.
That'd be a pretty cool design, actually. A crystal Klingon.
Crystal Klingon.
Bedazzled.
The disco era of the Klingon society. It was the Crystal Klingon.
Well, I have declared a general order not to go near Valada 3. I'm sure that 50 years from now, someone will pick up this plot point.
So they just went away, and nothing ever happened again.
No, don't play the trailer, please.
And that's it.
Right. Oh, well, okay.
Sorry, guys. I'll take responsibility for that one.
For once, it's not me. Okay, everyone, welcome to Star Trek, our ongoing journey through the episodes of Star Trek as we watch them. And Dan has selected an episode for this week, as he rightfully owned up to. I just need to turn the time code off. There we go. With TNG's Season 1, Episode 18, Home Soil. This was written by Carl Gers. This was the only episode he wrote. Also by Ralph Sanchez. This is the only episode he wrote. And also by Robert Sabaroff, who also wrote The Immunity Syndrome and Conspiracy. Conspiracy was
You know what? 3 writers does explain the amount of exposition and dialogue that went on in here.
This was directed by Corey Allen, very famous Corey Allen, who did Encounter at Farpoint, Final Mission, Journey's End, Paradise, and The Marquee Part 2. But along with the other ones as well.
But not Part 1.
So, yes, but not the first one, only the second one. This was the second draft. Would you like to know what the first one was called? The first one was called The Sandy Soils of Home. You can imagine why they changed it to Home
I thought
Soil.
you were the Devil in the Dark.
I was going to say this is actually The Devil in the Dirt, but there we are.
Devil in the Dark, there you go. Yep.
There you go.
Final fun fact. Actually, no. I've got two fun facts on this episode. The first one was this is actually the final episode of the season which Gene Roddenberry was the head writer. So the last head episode by Gene Roddenberry can only get better from here. And also,
you think that?
Go on. Yeah. This was the second time on Star Trek for Caroline Barry. 21 years earlier, she appeared as a Metron on Star Trek the original series episode Arena, under the name as Caroline Shell. I believe she was the engineering ensign who was there.
Oh, the one who peaked, yeah.
Oh, yes. Megan. Just say Megan.
Megan,
yeah, okay.
yes.
Ensign Megan, yeah.
Ensign Megan. Home Soil. Guys, what do we think of this episode?
I home soiled my pants. This is It's nowhere near as exciting as I'd hoped it would be.
So
I apologize on behalf of all Trekkies everywhere.
We're all kind of ragging this episode. I still kind of like it. Okay, it was very exposition heavy, but I kind of liked it still. I don't feel it was quite as boring as everyone was quite making out. But yeah, what did you guys think?
It's exactly what I remember it being. It's death by 1,000 expositions. It's just no, I mean, okay, apart from the little laser fight that Data gets into, basically nothing happens. It's all just static staring at lights and crystals and talking about the magic of the future of terraforming, and that's basically
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
Yeah. So
it seems like they really wanted to push Star Trek as maybe some sort of educational, like maybe I don't know if I think at the time there were weird things happening in the late 80s where if you were airing during certain windows and you had some amount of educational content, you get some grant money for whatever. I don't know if that applied. That was more for like cartoons, I think, and Saturday morning programming, but it does seem like they were trying, and this happened again for Doctor Who, to bring it back to that. In the early episodes they had a very strong historical slant to the very first season, and even some of the second season episodes, all of those lost, of course, but yeah, I mean they gave it a swing, and I think that I'm kind of proud of what they tried to do here, where they tried to show, hey, this is what people in the 23rd, 24th century, this is what people are doing, this is the jobs that they have, this is, they may not always get along, but this is how they conduct themselves, and the Enterprise goes and sees what's up and checks up on them, and in the middle of this they make first contact with this organism, and it's rare and beautiful and unique. And so I see everything that they had on pinned up in little index cards on the board here, and then when they just wrote the script, they got so lost, and it became such a maze of just trying to figure out what was interesting and unique and Star Trek-y about the episode, and I think it got lost in the rewrite.
No, what it is? It's like, I think you're right. And I think they forgot to put one index card up which said, by the way, punch up this dialogue. Because that entire bit with like Geordi and Data and Worf sat at the stations going over like the elements that were making up the microbrain, as they called it, that was all immediately elevated by the one joke of just like your theory, I wasn't asking you. That immediately made that the best scene of the episode, because it had character, it had humor, and it had like personality to it. If the rest of the episode had seen fit to put a few more jokes, a few more character moments in there, I think this would actually be a really good episode.
Yeah, that's actually something that you just hit on, is that there were no character moments in this episode at all. You don't learn
unless
anything
your name is Troy.
about... Well, all you learn there is the fact that her powers could be interesting and useful if actually utilized by the writing staff. But other than that, you don't learn a single thing about anyone in the entire episode except for the entity, basically.
Well,
and that
you do get a bit of pathos from that lead, what was her name, Louisa. They get a little bit of pathos from her, and that she actually values her terraforming project over the fact that one of her friends just died. But you do get a little bit of pathos from her. And about
who nobody sheds any tears over, by the way. Yeah, they've been working with this guy as one of 8 people on a planet for 3 years. Oh yeah, he was a dickbag anyways, right? So I don't know. I think I felt like,
you're right. There is a lot of exposition. There's not many character moments, but there were. I don't know. I liked Mandel, the guy that he had enough character to kind of sell me as this arrogant but slightly I'm gonna wave my personality in their face, and hopefully they won't notice I'm not actually saying anything meaningful. Troy surprisingly was competent. Like, this is she betrays her own trope, really, of being useless. She was actually useful here. He was hiding something and not showing it obviously. She had the point in it pert. So, shout out to Troy this episode of, actually doing something good in her role.
Yeah, she was a good left-hand man to Picard in this episode. He needed some help, and this is what is interesting that we can take away from the episode, is that so Picard wound up being out of his element. He starts out being able to be the diplomat with Dr. Mandel, and he was able to, with a little bit of help from Troy, figure out how to negotiate with him in a way to not only get them on the planet to intervene, but also to actually get enough access to be able to solve the murder mystery. But then later on, he's completely unequipped to be able to negotiate with the crystalline entity. So, that becomes like a little bit of a discomfort for him. And I will call it that for the rest of the episode, because this is not. It's weird that we have 2 different episodes in the first season that focus on the crystalline entity. But have we done Data Lore yet? I don't know if
we haven't. No.
But
yeah, we've done that. No, wait. Oh, wait. Is that still late in the season?
That is no. We've skipped ahead in season 1 a bit at the moment. So
right.
Yeah,
Okay,
that will be earlier, I think. But yes, sorry.
But also later on, so they completely take over Crusher's medbay, and she's shrugging her shoulders. She's got her hands in her pockets for the entire episode, literally. Because she can't do her damn job. And so it's just like, all right, well, let's get Geordi the geologist on it, and he can, figure out what's going on with the cadmium levels in here.
He can rock it.
So it was interesting seeing the crew have to leverage each other and use their talents in different ways, because things weren't as clean cut in this episode. So I appreciated that, but it really was just those tiny little bits that we got. Most of the episode was just, like you said, just standing around talking.
I feel like there were definitely avenues that they could have used to like spice this up and make it a little bit more interesting. Like, for one thing, like I brought up the Genesis Project and how that's portrayed, and it's like there's a really important bit in Wrath of Khan where like you get to see what it's like living on regular in the regular space station, and like they make references to playing bridge after dinner, like like they talk about like having been here for ages and data banks and stuff. You get a feeling that these people have actually lived and worked together for a while. They have a rapport going, and it makes that scene when you find the scientists that are dead and strung up later on to have a bit of impact. Not because they're not exactly named characters, not important, but it's like they are more than just bodies, and that's all that Mallinson was in this. Is that there was no personality. He didn't feel anything when he died, and I feel like that would have done a lot to like elevate this episode, just like a little bit more character. I also feel like they completely did themselves out of a completely different plot, and they don't lean into the murder mystery angle at all. Like that occupies maybe a minute and a half of dialogue, and you're like, "Ooh, is this going to be a locked room mystery type thing?" Where it's like, "Who could have had?" And then it's just like, "No, it was the alien."
Someone get Jonathan Creek.
They don't. They don't get the tension out of it at all. There's no dramatic tension. There's no digging into these people's personal lives, see if there was any enmity, because these characters don't exist beyond their expository roles. They exist purely as certain stereotype versus certain stereotype versus other stereotype, and dialogue trawl. And it's like,
what, Stars? You're right, because the moment that Will walked in on whatever her name was, poorly dubbed
Louisa,
Louisa, and he figures out that the reason that she's crying is not for her teammate but for her work. He should have immediately been suspicious of her as the killer.
Yeah,
it could have gone a totally different way and been way more interesting. But as soon as he's like, "Oh, you're beautiful. Okay, fine. Well, let's take on a date to see the rock candy later." So, all right.
That's just right.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not saying that, because guess what? Like, you can take the same kind of concept to move elsewhere. Like, that's how you get Ariel, which, we'll get to eventually. But it's like, there's stuff here. There are elements that, like, even though they talk and talk and talk and talk at such length, there are so many elements that just aren't pulled on a pawn. They're just, like, happy to just leave as the most basic versions of themselves. It's kind of a shame.
So it's like that minute and a half could have been used in some other way to make the story richer. It's like, why even tease that if you're not going to do anything with it? Just makes no sense.
Go ahead, Idol.
This would have been the perfect moment to bring in someone like Space Columbo, or like the Samuel T. Cogley of this episode. Have another character, okay, a case of another character, but have someone come in that is specifically an investigator, or give Yaren Worf that role, or Data even, and have that more in their kind of wheel. He's a Sherlock Holmes fan. That was established this season. And have him come into it.
It seems pretty obvious that the writers wanted you to feel some aspect of sympathy for the terraforming team. It's like they keep making reference to the year of work and all of this research and time that has been lost, but it's like they don't do any of the legwork necessary to give that any weight. So you don't feel anything.
They actively sabotage that because they're so misanthropic that you can't really empathize with them.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is that the episode did kind of do a bait and switch, right? So like it changes partway through. It's just too many characters is the other problem too. So you mentioned bringing in a Columbo, okay, another character, but so it's a first season, so they're still trying to establish. They had the scene where everybody's glad handing each other when they first beam down, and they take the time, they take 30 seconds to introduce every single member of the entire cast who all beam down together to go to see the planet. Everybody except Picard's down there. And then they introduce the entire team and we go through it all over again with more handshaking. And it's just like, okay, great. So how many characters? We have like, I think 11 characters in the room by the end of and we know all of their names. And so now we've got to suffer through this. And this is why there's too much exposition, because everybody had to get a line here. And then I guess maybe, if this was Clue and so, we had to figure things out and it was all everybody trapped in a room and we got to figure this out, that would have been a completely different story. But they had to bring it back to the Enterprise and do cool things with Crusher. So.
Such cool things. Yeah, I feel like there was just like a lack of focus going on, which is like weird when you get into the actual meat and potatoes of the episode, which is talking about inorganic life for about half an hour and making it sound like the dullest thing ever when it should be the coolest thing ever.
See, like the first time the Starfleet has ever encountered it too, which is
totally.
This is an episode that I remember from when I watched it for the first run when I was very young, and I remember sticking in my head because of that very concept of and I think what was this 89. I think I must not probably watched it to 88, so I wouldn't have watched it to about 91, 92. So going through school and you're learning like life and things like that, and then the idea, and I bear in mind I hadn't watched TOS at this point, so I had no idea of No Kill Eye, the Horta. The idea that life could evolve outside of your concept was a little bit mind blowing. It could be things that you don't understand, or it breaks that wall of understanding between what can be definitions of certain things, and that was kind of a moment for myself. But you're right, it wasn't quite the wholly like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And they do this again, like they do this concept so many times. Like you get to the end of season 7 and they have the computer that comes alive, and it's exactly the same plot. It's a very tropey Star Trek thing to do, to have but it's in the universe, in the little mini universe in DS9 Pup. It happens so many times.
Moriarty,
you say like
right?
Moriarty, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's you're right. This is probably the least. Sorry, my talking fast. Made the least best version of this.
Yeah, I think they just got the priorities in the exact wrong order. Like they spent so much time up front talking about terraforming and how interesting that is, and then it's like a minute and a half of murder mystery bait and switch, and then by the way, you're meeting a brand new species for the first time that expands your concept of what life can be, and then it's over.
What was the Voyager episode we watched? Was it Ex Post Facto, where they had the noir murder mystery, where they really just leaned into it for the whole episode? And I was up on that episode. I thought it was great because they actually picked a direction, they went for it, they swung for the fences, and for better or for worse, they delivered a product that was interesting to watch. And so this just seems like an episode written by committee, where just everybody had to get everything in, and there's no room for art.
I was going to say, like, this definitely is of the era when they had the show Bible, some books that were written before the series from the show Bible, and Gene Roddenberry's like handwritten notes on a napkin he met down the pub or the bar that night. And it is written for the Bible and not so much as a case of like, let's make this cohesive, because the characters aren't defined at all until really season 2.
Yeah. Well, it's also a case that they don't even bother putting in any, like, there's no stake here, because it's like we're going to exposit at you for like at least like 20-30 minutes on like terraforming and what it is and how it works. We're not going to bother to show you why this is important. We're not going to show you a picture of what we think this planet is projected to look like in a few decades.
They kind of did.
No, they don't do enough. They
show
show you like, look, it's slightly greener. It's like, no, show me a verdant.
Yeah, they show you phase 1 and phase 2 of the subdivision, and they're not going to show you what the rest of the city looks like.
They would have really broken the budget to have like Phil down in the art department paint up a matte painting that would have looked really pretty. I'm sure there's probably one already.
This is Earth with sugar frosting on it. Yes, right.
Yeah, exactly. Like. And it's like there's no stake where like they would go, oh well, there's a shortage even in Wrath of Khan, because I keep on going back to it. Like Carol Marcus mentions problems of galactic population and food supply, and like there's a reason why we bother to terraform planets. or like reasons why people become colonists in a era in which you can just live on Earth, and you can just fucking rise Atlantis from the oceans if you want to. That's just a thing you can do to fuck around with. So there has to be a compelling reason why you leave. And it's because you like the adventure, you like the thrill of it. And it's like, you couldn't make this look like a more boring prospect. Terraforming is really interesting, actually, but you don't put in any work into it. And the one character who's meant to epitomize the romance of it, who literally is pointed out in dialogue as possessing, highly abstracted ideas, little data, but big dreams. It's like the most underwritten wayfish nothing character possible, where it's like, you don't get to hear what her dreams of what Valara 3 might become in the future. She doesn't say, oh, I hope it will become a cultural center. I hope that, my family didn't have any growing up. It's like a big food shortage. Like, there's 1,000,001 things you could do with the script. How about, you were talking about the show Bible, right? Does anyone else remember in the show Bible that fucking Tasha Yar comes from a failed Federation colony and might have some thoughts about, like, the creation of an idyllic dream planet from base 0 and about how that could go wrong? Or how about that could be a really wonderful thing and maybe she has some kind of investment on it? No! Just the absolute refusal to have any of these characters engage on an emotive level until it becomes about a load of light-emitting diodes on a table.
But don't you remember that she's really sad? Because
I couldn't tell that through all the ADR dialogue.
Yeah, that's just. But
it was a character very brief. It's just very sad.
Yeah, no, like every scene that she's in from after the first scene, she has tears in her eyes. Yeah. Like that's her defining character trait. She's sad,
and I think that comes down to too many characters. There's too much to do here. They should have focused on either just the head honcho or just her. She should have been the head of the project and maybe been obstructive.
I wonder. So Stars, I really like your point. I want to because when you have warp speed, you can go anywhere, you can colonize anywhere. So why bother terraforming? I wonder if they're all disgruntled and pissed off because they realized halfway through the project they're just creating like the Starfleet projects, like the equivalent of the affordable housing. Where it's like, oh shit, guys, wait a minute, we're not gardeners of Edens here, are we? we're just like drywallers of Edens.
We're making space Cleveland.
Yes. So we've just got the requisition here for the planet order. Once it's completed, what's it going to be? Oh, we're going to grow a load of drugs. Oh, cool. Okay.
Great. Love it. But yeah, it's like there's no even mention of like artistry of like.
That's right.
I think it's in Mass Effect. I think there's a reference of like someone terraforming a planet and putting like a signature or creating their own bespoke mountain range.
Oh, that's Hitchhikers. That's Slarty creating the wonderful fjords.
Fest, yes.
Yeah. A touch of whimsy. A tiny little bit of the milk of the human soul would have elevated this from beyond drudgery to something really quite emotive, really, actually. The elements are here. But they're just like, nah.
They gave it no reason to be.
Yeah, you wanted Douglas Adams, you got Robert Sabaroff. Congratulations. So.
Wow. Brutal.
All right, let's go on to our best and worst moments.
The best advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zek. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Actually, that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance. No. Just stop saying that.
I love how that starts off like with
here but worthless gold.
I love that starts like the intro to Sprak Zarathustra. No.
Well, yeah, it really does feel like it should go no.
Yeah.
Dun.
Okay, let's go with our best and worst moments. Stars, you shall start us off this week.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to get ahead of the pack because there's slim pickings this week. The best is Troy. I'm sorry, I am a sucker for competent Troy. She does really well here. She is confident.
It's nice to see.
It does honestly happen so infrequently. She is competent. She is direct. She does not hesitate to tell Picard that he's moving in the wrong direction. She's empathetic in the right places. She's like actively engaged in discussions. If this was the Troy we got the entire TMTNG, I feel like a lot of people would love her a lot more because she's just so incredibly, like, not even quietly competent, but just like she's incredibly professional. This is exactly who I want on the bridge. Like all of that stuff at the very beginning of the episode, that's worth the price of admission. That is why she's on the bridge. Like that's perfect, and it's like it also kind of makes it a bit more of a sticky wicket when Picard goes, "Oh, you're basing all these suppositions of yours on the feelings of your pet Betazoid in the Drumhead," and he's like, "Oh, maybe I should reconsider all that," but he doesn't because it's too fucking useful. But yeah, Competent Troy is my best. Worst, I feel like I've been banging this drum, but it's like the sheer lack of heart. There's like a few bits and pieces here where something shines through, where someone bothered to punch at the dialogue. There's a few bits and pieces here where someone remembered that these characters have character and backgrounds and thoughts on things that are influenced by where they came from and where they want to go. But for the most part, it's just like, this is scientist stereotype number 1. This is scientist stereotype number 2. This is scientist stereotype number 3, who is not really even a stereotype. He has so little character. He just exists to provide more dialogue. And it's like you could have condensed this down into like maybe one character if you were really feeling fresh, but they weren't. It's just a bit of a drudge, honestly. It's like, but between the director and the writer, they really should have just sat down and had a conversation about, this is boring. How do we streamline this and make it more fun? And they just didn't have that conversation.
Okay, Dan.
So I'll start with my best moment, and this was a really, really tiny little thing in the episode, but it's something that stuck with me, is the image of Geordi looking down this drill hole with Data just behind him over his shoulder. And it's one of the few buddy moments we get with them early on. Later on, they develop their friendship, but this is the two of them just kind of existing with each other, doing their jobs well. And Geordi is just, and this is a credit to LeVar Burton, with him being able to act with this stupid girl's barrette over his face. And you really do believe, with all the awful acting in this episode, and there are some real stinkers. Looking at you, Richard Dean Anderson wannabe. And with all the garbage, just him seeing the simple beauty of what's at the end of that mine shaft, and that being our first glimpse as the audience into the direction that the episode will be going, and having Data there to just appreciate that with them was just really lovely. The lighting on their faces, you could see as the crystal at the bottom of the drill hole is kind of just faintly illuminating them. Just really done well. The tight shot with the two of them. The worst moment. I think it's the first time that Dr. Poopy Pants, what's his name, Dr. Mandel, like he gets so pissed off at Picard, Picard taking the piss out of him, that he just puts his hands in his pockets and he storms out of the ready room like a toddler, because I'm not going to have to listen to you. I'm the boss, and you can. Oh my God!
I don't take life. I create it. It's like, dude, I know you're a good actor. Why you like this?
But there's one tiny moment though where he actually has his hands in his pockets and he doesn't know what to do with them. So he actually pushes his fingers up through his pants pockets, like on his way out the door. Go back and watch it if you missed it. It's hilarious. Anyways, okay, that's it.
Big.
Okay, so I think the best moment is, I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, but it's the snappy comeback to the computer from Worf. That's that I wasn't asking you, because that was just the only moment of lightness and levity in the entire episode, basically, because everyone else is just deathly serious, basically from start to finish. But honorable mention just to the concept, the high concept of life as we don't know it, or life beyond our current understanding. That's a great idea to start an episode with. It just was not executed at all. So the worst is just a collective fail from the art and set design department of this episode. Because it's like you were talking about that moment with Geordi and seeing the entity for the first time. what that ends up being is like a little light bulb at the bottom of a shaft.
Yeah.
And then you bring it into sickbay, and it's a light bulb under a bell jar in sickbay. And then that turns into, a sugar crystal in sickbay. And the terraforming bay, the wonder of the future, is like a hotel conference room with like oak doors. And it's just like everything is just dour and dull and just no part of it.
D.
Yeah, well, it's just no part of it has any visual interest. It looks cheap. It is cheap, and it cheapens the story. So yeah, just the design of this entire episode was wrong from the word go.
I think this is a case for why we don't have 26 episode seasons, is because you do get set design like this, which can be endearing in a certain way, and you go like, oh, you can see the corners they cut to give us more episodes, but at the same time you're like, I see at least 3 or 4 different pieces from different sets being used right here because I've watched enough Star Trek.
Well, not just that, and that's but IMDb says that on the terraforming planet, most of the devices we saw there were borrowed from Knight Rider. So if that explains anything.
So yeah, okay.
Incredible.
All right, case in point. So you have finally gotten to the part of the story where you're talking about silicon-based life, that life, and you have accepted that it is life now. It's like, oh wow, you're watching it give birth. It's a light in a bell jar. Wow, miracle of birth. Now it's 2 light bulbs in a bell jar.
There are 2 lights.
Yeah. No visual sells itself at all.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of the budget, really, because this is a lot of.
Yeah, it is. Of course it is, but if you can't do that, then don't do it.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true.
You can't do that. Then just a whole episode with talking.
I mean, which can be good. We've had dialogue-heavy episodes, but the key there is to make the dialogue engaging. Like, I've said before on various ways, we're watching the Twilight Zone episodes, and I was just like, some of my favourite episodes, just 2 people in a room talking, and you are glued to it. Anyone with Bridges Meredith is there, and you're just like, yeah, I'm there.
The bird.
Yeah. I'm going to go with my best one. I really like Director Mandel. I thought he was cool. I thought he was affluent and dramatic enough, a little bit hammy on the edges to be entertaining to watch. I wish the whole episode was more about him, or he was more focused in the terraforming project than rather than creating more characters. But I really liked him. My worst one is the life form itself. As I said before, I love the concept of life, but not as we know it. That's great. That's a core tenet of Star Trek, and they do it quite a lot. I like the idea that they stumble on it because it's kind of like ribbing off Wrath of Khan a little bit. There is like, oh, we found a life form there all along. That turned out to be Khan. This turned out to be Kant. Because these because at the end, they spend some time, they reproduce, you see all this, it's very much classic, they didn't have the budget, so they had to tell and not show so much. This is definitely telling and not showing, which is the wrong way round. But you get these creatures, they reproduce, they take control of the ship, they start influencing things around them. You get to the point where Picard's about to go like, initiate self-destruct Alpha 314872, but it turns out that if you just turn the lights down, they go, no, we surrender. We surrender. We don't have control of the lights.
The entire civilization could be knocked out with the clapper.
Yeah. So yeah, you just turn the lights down. They're just like, I have the upper hand in the negotiation. Because again, that's another plot point. It's another Picard negotiating with using his amazing skills as like an ace negotiator to convince people to do, a race of species to do what they want. But no, that lasts about 5 seconds. They're like, turn the lights down. We surrender. Take us back, but don't come back for 300 years. Otherwise, we'll.
Well, and then also, they make a point to talk about how the thing has reprogrammed the computer. It's interfacing with the computer and won't let it beam itself out or anything. But it didn't think to control the light source that is its entire thing that it lives and depends on.
Like, it'd be one thing if Riker had to they duck his head in and fire a phaser at the lights or whatever, but I guess we didn't have the VFX budget for that.
That's a much better last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
he'll have to bring that up. But no, I found them sort of it was all of a sudden, it was just like, we don't know if there's life, and then they're talking. And they're just straight up just talking. Where from, we don't know. We just have to assume they gain control of the communication systems. But it's just like, we are talking. We would like to talk to you about our extended warranty and all this. And it was all just a bit like that. Like I said, I like the well, we'll come on to that in a moment. Let's go on to our ratings.
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3.5. Associational rating norm -3. That's much too low a rating.
I was not accustomed to seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
So unsatisfactory. He's with us right now. Stars, what is our rating criteria for this week?
So I was originally going to go with how many inorganic light-emitting diodes out of 10, which I was pretty happy with. I thought that's decent. But it got blown out of the water because, gentlemen, how many dick bags of mostly water out of 10 would you like to give this episode?
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
This is why I love getting to do the race, because the amount of joy I could bring people is
so
good.
That's so good. Since
That's best rating ever.
yeah, that's going up there with horses named Tango, I think. Stars, start us off. What are you going for?
Like, I know I just spent like half an hour just dunking on this episode, and I feel like it does deserve it, because I'm writing a better version of this in my head already, just taking the bare bones, and this is bare bones, and constructing a better story around it. Bones. But the thing is as a kid watching this TNG season 1, I've related the stories many times. It's all I had was First Contact, Ralph Picard, and TNG season 1. So guess what? There were some real plateaus of quality. There were some real down lows. But I remember finding this episode interesting because it was my first introduction to the idea of inorganic life, the idea of terraforming. If you've never watched science fiction before and you want to just get maybe the most boring, but maybe the most direct version of it, this is kind of that. It's what's a science fiction episode? Well, it's you think it's one thing, but it's actually another, and you have to expand your perspective and question your assumptions. That's the basic tenet of science fiction, right? And this is the most archetypal. Question your assumptions, or they'll challenge your assumptions, or they'll challenge you, type thing. It's just done in such a very dull way, and I keep. It's so very middle of the road. I feel like I'm going to have to downgrade from a 6 to a 5.5 because I feel like, on the whole, I don't hate this episode, but I do massively mourn what this could have been, and I'm already feeling like I should write a tabletop adventure that fixes this episode and make it more interesting. So, yeah, for me, it's
the show wrote itself.
Home Soil 2, Electric Boogaloo. So yeah, this is 5.5 dick bags of mostly water out of 10.
Fantastic. Dan.
All right, I started at 4. I had some heavy nostalgia for this episode. Yeah, it was pretty boring, but I feel like there were 3 or 4 different reasonable episodes fighting to get light here, and Riker just kept turning down the lights on them all. So I want to rate this higher. I really do, because so this is me being a season 1 apologist here, right? Because there is some good Star Trek here in season 1, and I won't say there is some good performances in this episode, but we did get some good insight into how the crew can help each other be better. So the crew actually overcomes. I feel like there really was some drama here, and even though it's trite, they're taking over the Enterprise again. This has happened 3 times already this season. It's something they do well. They've got I'm out of good things to say here, so I guess I gotta leave it.
I had so much steam and then it just disappeared.
Yeah. I think I got it right. I have to stand pat on a 4 here. It's just not what it could be, and I'm not going to judge it based on what it could be. It's what we just saw, and that it's just low end, down at the bottom of the drill hole.
Nice. Sorry, for what was that?
For dick bags of mostly water, we only speak in 1 syllables.
One unbroken sentence. Okay, Big, go for it.
So I pre-rated this a 2. I remembered it being real bad, real boring. Guess what? Real bad, real boring. it's like you said. I mean, there are redeeming qualities to the ideas of the episode. It's just executed like paint by numbers style, to where it just explains the things that are happening and end. It doesn't do anything with it. And I feel like I can't give it any credit for taking a big swing, because it just like grounded it into the dirt right in front of itself. So I'm sticking with the 2. It's just it's good ideas, awfully executed, and it's the execution that matters. So 2.
It's like they needed an idea from an episode, so they're like, all right, what's in the theme song? New life and new civilizations. So okay, let's just figure out something and we'll make a new civilization, and then here's our episode. Okay, good. Just cut print. All right, yeah. Nothing there.
Yeah.
Man, someone with big fat cigars like, I want to print it by morning. Get it on the papers. Get it on the
yeah.
Spitting newspapers everywhere. I'm a little bit of an apologist for this episode. I liked it. I okay, I see all the flaws. The dialogue is mostly exposition. I like the concept behind it. Like you say, Stars, there are kernels of a better episode that are wasted on these 45 to 50 minutes. The data bit's kind of funny when he's dodging around. You get nice moments from Geordie. You get Riker being a sleazeball, as usual. You get, you get Picard being a little bit of the diplomatic side, but with a little bit of a sympathetic air. He recognises his life. He recognises it's not the Miner's fault by the end, except when it is, and it turns out that he uses Troy responsibly. There are bits in here. It is very exposition heavy, but I always use like 5 as my rating, as just like this was an episode of Star Trek. It doesn't do anything good, doesn't do anything bad. This airs slightly lower than that for me, so I'm going to go with a 4.5. Dick bags of mostly water, because this sort of just sits just under. It just slightly underperforms what it should have done. And with that brings this episode to an average of 4.0 straight on the dot.
About right.
Sits in the van. I think
4 lights. Yeah.
4. There are definitely 4 there. Well, you've got to be careful with those 4 lights, because if you acknowledge them as life, they'll keep reproducing. So let's just stick a box over the whole thing and walk away.
Put a box on it.
Yeah, you know what? If we're doing that, like that, adding that to the format, guess what? This entire episode could have been solved with a box.
Yeah,
solve the box.
I'm definitely putting that on the notes. We are going to be having in future episodes. Could you fix this episode with a box? I can't wait till we get episodes with Golda Cut.
Start right here in home soil.
Yeah.
Okay. Stars, Dan, Big, thank you for joining us for this amazing watch through. Because sometimes even the average episodes can make us all laugh. For everyone else, join us back again if you're watching live. We'll be back on Wednesday with a bit of Star Trek Smackdown. Yeah, come get some.
Be fun.
And we'll be back also. And in 2 weeks will be our next Trek episode. I believe we will be having one with Abby Sommer from the First Flight podcast. She'll be joining us in a couple of weeks to talk about an Enterprise episode, which is going to be a lot of fun. Until then, we will see you next time. And ta-ra.
It's all set.
What's all set?
I got Hooker lined up with a dude who's going to give him the deal of a lifetime on a new Porsche.
A Porsche?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you should wait. You might get a better deal through the state.
Yeah?
Yeah, we just did some story on a guy who's selling stolen Porsches off a lot on Main. Real sleazy character.
What's his name?
Delvin, Kelvin,
Melvin?